Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Everyday Faith. In case you missed yesterday, my name is Ricky and I'm part of the Faith Box team. Glad that you're joining with us this month as we continue our theme of worship. And I'm stoked about today, but before I jump into today, just humor me for a second, okay? I'm in New York City. I'm a Yankees fan, was born in the Bronx, so love the Yankees. And this is the time of year where there's no, I don't know if you're a sports fan, but this is the time of year where there's no major league, like professional football, there's no college football, there's no NBA professional basketball. The hockey season has ended if you're in a hockey. This is like baseball is one shining moment. This year we have the Women's World Cup and the U.S. team has been doing awesome. But for me, this is like my chance to go in on Yankees baseball. There's kind of like a 9 or 10 week window. And so just humor me. If you get offended, I'm sorry, but it's just kind of my thing. I love baseball and I love the Yankees especially. And so this is just kind of my thing to do. So anyway, moving on from that, that's probably TMI. We've got a quote today from A.W. Tozer, who is a Christian theologian, pastor, writer, just a brilliant mind. And I'm here to tell you that this quote is kind of like a punch in the gut. And here's what he wrote. He says, "I can safely say on the authority of all that is revealed in the Word of God, that any man or woman on this earth who is bored and turned off by worship is not ready for heaven." Wow. I can safely say on the authority of all that is revealed in the Word of God that any man or woman who on this earth who is bored and turned off by worship is not ready for heaven. I mean, you talk about powerful and kind of gut check. Be honest, raise your hand. Have you ever been bored by worship at church? Do you feel like we're just singing the same songs, or we just, these, I don't get it. These words are a little bit too big or kind of outdated. I have, and, and not just there, but other parts of my life where worship takes hold. But A.W. Tozer is so right. When we get to eternity, when we spend eternity in heaven, we are going to be worshiping in the presence of God because that's what we're going to be compelled to do. When you see God, when you see how grand He is, when you see how awesome He is, when you see how significant He is, and how incredible He is, it just moves you to worship. Again, kind of to come back to the sports thing, right? And so for me in sports, I played basketball in high school and college. Basketball by far is my most favorite sport. It doesn't matter what the sport is, but when I watch an athlete do something just physically unbelievable, when I see them jump, some kind of contort their body midair and make a play of some kind, it just kind of blows my mind. And I sit on my couch or I sit with my buddies and I'm like, holy, like how do they do that? And I do that like on a human level, right? I do that when someone, maybe you felt that way in work, or maybe you feel that way in parenting. You see someone who does something that just feels like kind of way out of your league. And you're like, how did they do that? In a sense, that's compelling us or moving us to worship. And the truth is that all of eternity is going to be that way because God is inexhaustible. And so we're going to be seeing Him and experiencing Him in new ways every single day for the rest of forever. I mean, how incredible is that? But the problem is, if you're bored or tired or worn out of worship here, then man, we got to straighten some things out because that's what we're going to be doing for the rest of eternity because that's what we can't help but do. But if we can cultivate a heart of worship, in a sense, if we can cultivate a heart of worship now, in a sense, it's almost like we're preparing ourselves for what we get to experience and partake in for the rest of eternity. So it's a simple quote, or not a simple quote, I should say it's a shorter quote, and I've kind of exasperated it and spent a lot of time talking about it, but I hope that encourages you this morning, and I hope it helps shape your perspective on why worship matters every single day of our lives. I'll see you guys tomorrow.